the defensive adjustments at halftime, there were a lot of games, Purdue, Michigan State, where offenses did some things on you in the first half. How good do you feel about the adjustments at halftime and what you guys were able to do, shutting people down in the second half?
I think part of it is we do have some young guys out there, some inexperienced players. And, sometimes seeing the plays at live speed, getting used to the game speed against a different style of offense. I think there's some of that, an inexperience factor. I think that that's a sign of some maturity. As we went through the season, those guys were able to make adjustments. We were able to do some things with some guys, even when Kabinda and Bell were out of the lineup. So I think it's a maturity thing as the season wears on, and I think that as the year went on, you can see the experience building in those guys. Some guys up front, especially, were able to do a little bit more.
What do you guys look at in the first half, and what's the process like at the half to try to make the adjustments and relay that to the kids?
I think one of the biggest challenges we have as coaches is to decipher what's really the issue. You don't want to change things that really aren't broke. Maybe it's because a player didn't fit right. Maybe he missed a tackle. Maybe there was some compounding issues that dominoed a little bit. You got to kind of boil it down and say what really happened. Why did they have this play? Why did they have success in this formation or with this blocking scheme? And then if what we're doing, when we do it correctly, if that doesn't work, now you make an adjustment. But when you try and adjust without really knowing what the problem is, why it's not working, that's when I think you can get into some problems.
You said about some of the guys up front, the improvements this year, Kevin Givens.
Absolutely. Robert Windsor, Kevin Givens, Sharif Miller. You're talking about a bunch of redshirt freshmen, Ryan Buckholtz, that as the year went on, they got more comfortable, at their position, and we got more comfortable doing more with them. They allowed us to take the handcuffs off a little bit. I think sometimes in the first half I was probably somewhat conservative. Let the guys get their feet wet. Let's see how we're doing before we, kind of get to 200 level.
And going along with that, it looked like Jarvis Miller was at linebacker with you guys?
Jarvis has worked both positions
Okay.
On and off throughout the season. He's kind of a hybrid guy like Koa. He's a guy that we feel like could help us at safety and possibly grow into that field backer spot, guys.
Are there one or two things specifically that Givens has done as the season has gone on to improve?
He's playing faster. He would clear a block or clean a block. He would stop his feet and kind of size up the situation. And now he cleans that block and he's exploding. He's accelerating to the play. He's just playing faster. He's more comfortable.
Will he have to continue to gain a little bit more weight? What would be
Yeah,
the
he
top end
does.
weight for him?
I think you got to look at his body type and where he's going to level out and what's his optimum playing weight. I don't think he's there yet, but I don't think he'll ever be a 300-pound guy. That's my personal opinion. Been around a lot of 280, 285-pound three techniques that are plenty good enough. You saw the play in the Big Ten championship game where he bent out of there and chased that back down when we lost coverage on him. I mean, if he's 300, 305, does he make that play? That's where you have to be careful. You don't want to lose some of his greatest asset, which is his speed and quickness.
Jason tweeted earlier today that he's going to come back next year.
Yeah.
How much of a relief is that for you, knowing you don't have to get another quarterback for that defense?
I told him I was going to tie him up and handcuff him, not let him go, so it didn't matter. But it's a great feeling. We want all these guys to come back. We think we're on the verge of something really special, and we were, as I mentioned, a relatively young team on defense, and I think having Jason return his leadership off the field. He's one of our best workers this winter, summer. He's a leader out there, and so he helps us not just with his experience on the field, but leadership in the entire off season.